How to identify fair value gap in Forex. Welcome to the channel. My name is Nexus, and in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to identify fair value gap in Forex. Let's get started. In this tutorial, I'm going to explain three things. What is a fair value gap? How can we spot or find a fair value gap that's in your charts? And why, as traders, we should care about a fair value gap. So what is a fair value gap? A fair value gap is a price signature or a price action that you can easily spot on your charts. This is a concept from ICT's YouTube channel. How do we spot or find a fair value gap in your charts? You simply need to find a sequence of 3 candles. So let me show you an example. I am using USD Swiss right here, and this is on the daily chart. Right at the bottom right here, I'm going to show you a fair value gap. So it's a sequence of 3 candles. This is candle number 1, this is candle number 2, and this is candle number 3. The space in between candle number 1 and candle number 3 is your gap. The reason it's a fair value gap is because candle number 1, the low of this candle, that includes the wick, does not touch or overlap with the high of the third candle, and that creates a gap in price. Now, if you notice the difference between, for example, let's have a look at these 3 candles right here. The first candle, you can see the wick overlaps with the third candle. So there's no gaps with these 3 candle sequence. But right here, you can see this gap. Why should you care about a fair value gap as traders? A fair value gap can be used like traditional support and resistance. And I'll show you an example. So this is USD Swiss, and this is on the daily. We're going to use this as an example. So right here, you can see that price has just cleared out this low, where you can see the red line. And we spotted this fair value gap. So I'm just going to highlight that. Okay, so you can see how price goes back over the fair value gap, comes back down, and it uses it as support. So I'm just going to extend this right here, and then runs away from the fair value gap. This fair value gap is known as an inversion or inverted fair value gap. Let's show another example. So on this chart, I'm showing silver, and this is also on the daily. So right here, you can see where price has cleared this last swing low. You can see that a fair value gap was created. Price came back down into the fair value gap, used it as support, and then ran away. So a fair value gap can be used as traditional support and resistance. The fair value gap will be used as a reference point for price to refer to either in the immediate future or in the future. So at some point in the future, price will either come back to the fair value gap. Let's assume that it's unfilled, or even though it's filled, it can be used as a reference point for price to carry out another price leg. So there you have it, folks. That's how to identify fair value gaps in Forex. I hope this video has been helpful. Please give this video a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.